Valid or not valid? Valid. Second one, valid. Third one, not valid. Fourth one, valid. Fifth one, valid. Okay. See, identifier rules. Total, how many rules are there? 5 rules are there. If you remember 5 rules, 1000 identifiers also you can give answer. Possible or not? Possible, no? So, 5 identifiers I given, which are valid, which are not valid, you are giving answer. If I give 1000 also, you can give answer. Possible. But what you have to remember? 5 rules you have to remember. These examples should not remember. Okay? See, here, every rule important only. Every rule important only. Okay? Every rule you have to remember. You should not forget. See, academic exam is different. Software company written test is different. Academic exam is different. Software company written test is different. See, in a software company, they'll give like this. They'll give 5 identifiers. Question will be, which of the following identifiers are valid? That type. Or some more questions. Which of the following identifiers are not valid? Like that they'll ask. Okay. Software company written test. Which of the following identifiers are valid? Or which of the following identifiers are not valid? That type they'll ask. Now, suppose assume you forgot second rule. It must begins with alphabet, underscore or dollar. Just assume you forgot. Then what will happen? It is also valid, you'll write. It is also valid, you'll write, no? Out of 5 rules, 1 rule if you forget, you'll fail. Out of 5 rules, 1 rule if you forget, you'll fail. That is software company exam. That's what every rule important. See, yesterday I given 5 rules. Identifier should contain, identifier can have like alphabets, digits, underscore, dollar. First rule. Second one, it must begins with alphabet, underscore, dollar. But it must not begins with digit. Third rule, length can be any number of letters. Like there is no limit in the length. Next, it should not contain special symbols other than underscore, dollar. And the next rule, it should not contain white space characters like a space bar, tab, enter key. This is I covered. Like 5 rules. Out of 5 rules, 1 rule if you forget, you'll fail in software company exam. But BTech exam, how it will be? Are they asking this type of question? No. What will be there? Explain identifiers briefly. Then what student will do? Out of 5 rules, only first rule if you remember, you'll write 1 paragraph. Okay. 1 rule if you remember, 1 page also they'll write. See how much difference is there software company exam and academic exam. Out of 5 rules, 1 rule remember, you'll pass. That is BTech. But in software company, out of 5 rules, 1 rule if you forget, you'll fail. That much gap is there. Software company exam, BTech exam, lot of difference is there. There 1 rule only remember, you'll pass. Here 1 rule if you forget, you'll fail. That much gap is there. That's what. If you want to get a job in MNC, first of all, logical code snippets most important for your career. Okay. Logically, you should be strong. That is the reason. Weekly 1 test I'll conduct on logic. Weekly 1 assignment I'll give. That is, you must to do it. Whether you are getting or not, leave it. You try to do it. Try. If you don't get, I'll teach. Definitely I'll teach. So, assignments also compulsory you try. While conducting exam also compulsory write answers. Answers can be right or wrong, try to write. If you get a 0 marks also, nothing will happen. You will get a logical thinking. Okay. Otherwise, what will happen? Whenever you attend interview, then you will think. If you think here, some practice, you'll get it. You'll get it. Like suppose starting 1, 2 exams. You may get a 1 mark, 2 marks, 3 marks also. Later, your logical thinking will improve. Later, all right answers also will give. That's what, while conducting exams, while giving assignments, don't neglect. Compulsory, do it. Okay. Now, one concept completed yesterday, identifiers. Okay. Those who missed, no need to worry. 4 recorded videos are there. You can watch. Okay. Today, day 5th, day 5. So 4 days lectures already, recorded videos are there. Next. But further, they won't give recordings. Starting only they'll give. Starting 1 week, they'll provide. Further, no recordings. You should be very regular. Okay. Starting maximum 1 week, they'll give. That's it. Maybe 2 more videos they may give. Today class, tomorrow class. But further, they won't give. No recordings. Okay. You should be regular. Now, next concept, keywords. Note. Next concept, keywords. Next concept, keywords. Note. A set of words reserved by language itself, and those words are called keywords. A set of words reserved by language itself, and those words are called keywords. A set of words reserved by language itself, and those words are called keywords. Say, writing program purpose, some words are there. Those words we can call it as keywords. Okay. Writing program purpose, some words are there. Those words are called keywords. See, identification purpose. Identification purpose, we are going to write some words. Those words are called identifiers. Writing program purpose, some words already given by Java developer. Those words are called keywords. Okay. Say, a set of words reserved by language itself, and those words are called keywords. Writing program purpose, some words already reserved. Those words are called keywords. Next, write it. Examples. Public, private, protected, integer, character, float, double, if, else, while, for, void, static, this, final, class, interface, like this, dash dash, etc. Examples. Note down. Public, private, protected, int, char, float, double, if, else, while, for, void, static, this, final, class, interface. So many are there. Examples. These words, writing program purpose reserved. These words are called keywords. Say 6 concepts: identifiers, keywords, literals, data types, variables, operators. Once if these 6 concepts are completed, many logical code snippets possible. 45 operators are there, 15 control structures are there. With that, so many logics we can write. Thousands of logical code snippets we can write. Okay, I'll teach. Like what I'll do for every logical code snippets concept, what I'll do, first to one code snippet I'll teach. That is, I'll explain. You have to listen with concentration. Next code snippet, I'll ask question. You have to give answer. Like 90% people give an answer. Then I'll go for third course, another concept. Suppose majority people not give an answer. I'll take one more example. Like that, you'll get a logical skills. Okay. So until majority people will give answer, I'll take many examples. With that, your logical skills will be improved. But while asking question, compulsory you have to respond. Because otherwise I cannot understand how many people given, how many people not given, I cannot understand. I cannot understand status if you don't give answer. That's what compulsory give answers. As well as while conducting exam, compulsory write. If you get a 0 also, nothing will happen. Okay. Now, see, a set of words reserved by language itself, and those words are called keywords. Writing program purpose, some words are reserved. Those words are called keywords. Some examples I given here. Now, next, write it. All keywords must be written in lowercase letters only. All keywords must be written in lowercase letters only. All keywords must be written in lowercase letters only. So, keywords, you should not write capital letters. Okay, compulsory small letters. All keywords must be written in lowercase letters only. That's what you observe. Here I didn't write capitals. All small letters. In an identifier, capital letter also valid. Small letter also valid. Mixed also valid. That's what yesterday I given. Demo D small letter, demo capital letter, demo mixed letters. All I given, no? Like that possible. But keywords, compulsory small letters. Here, whatever Sun Microsystem given rules and guidelines, you must follow. Then only Java compiler can understand. Then only Java virtual machine can understand. Then only Java software can understand. If you write your own style, it is not possible. You must follow rules and guidelines. Here only two options. Either follow rules and guidelines or you develop compiler. Can you develop compiler? No. Then follow rules and guidelines. That's it. Okay. Your own style, you cannot write. JVM understandable. Java compiler understandable format you have to write. That is, I'm teaching. Learn, write. Then compiler will understand, executes. And your own style, if you write, it doesn't work. Okay. Now, all keywords must be written in lowercase letters only. Okay. All keywords must be written in lowercase letters only. While writing keyword, you should not write capital letter while writing keywords. Now, there are at present total 50 keywords, including strict FP, assert, and enum. Recently, 10-15 keywords, recently new keywords came, but it is not included in the list till. That is the reason 50 I am giving. Recently, 10-15 keywords came. Almost 60 to 65 keywords are there. Okay. There are at present total 50 keywords, including strict FP, assert, and enum. There are at present total 50 keywords, including strict FP, assert, and enum. Online students, end of the session, I'll clarify your doubts. Just listen the class and write the notes. Listen the class and write the notes. End of the session, I'll give time for doubts. Say, at present, 50 keywords, including these three. When Java came and exists in the market, 47 keywords was there. Later, these three added 50. Recently, just in a 3-4 years gap only, 10 to 15 keywords came. Those all I'll explain later. That is not included in the keywords list, but it definitely they'll include in the keywords list. Okay. Those are reserved, but not included in the list. In future, they'll include. Now, strict FP keyword introduced in JDK 1.2 version. In 1998. You studied already JDK. JDK full form? Java development kit. Java development kit. It is called as Java software. JDK. Java development kit, nothing but Java software. Latest version of JDK 19. Starting JDK 1 came. Later JDK 1.1 came. JDK 1.2 came. 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 like that came. After 1.9, they should give 1.10. But what they did is they given 10. That's what 10, 11, 12, 13. Now present we are calling 19. JDK 19. Downloading JDK, installing JDK, path setting of JDK, everything I'll cover. Everything I'll cover. Don't worry about subject. Okay. See, strict FP keyword introduced in JDK 1.2 version in 1998. Next, assert keyword introduced in JDK 1.4 version in 2002. Enum keyword introduced in JDK 1.5 version in 2004. JDK 1.2 version in 1998. Strict FP keyword introduced in JDK 1.2 version in 1998. Assert keyword introduced in JDK 1.4 version in 2002. Enum keyword introduced in JDK 1.5 version in 2004. Okay. See, starting 47. Later, these three came. 1.21 keyword, 1.41 keyword, 1.51 keyword. Java 14 onwards, 10 plus keywords came. Okay. Like up to Java 19, I'll cover. Everything I'll cover. Okay. Don't worry. See, this is about keywords. Note 1. CONST constant and go to keywords presently not in use. CONST constant and go to keywords presently not in use. These two keywords already present in the list, but if you write, it doesn't work. Error comes. It is there in the list, but not in use. Reason, in the place of constant, another keyword introduced. In the place of go to, another keyword introduced. And that too, these all, some issues are there in C language. That's what they changed. And with some logical errors comes with go to. That's the reason they stopped to use go to in C language. Java developers removed that concept. They introduced other concept. So if any new product comes in the market, definitely they'll study old product. What are the problems are there? What are the issues are there? What are the new features required for users? They'll think, they'll introduce. That's the reason always they'll think about old products. They'll study. After studying old products only, new products will introduce. But as compared to C language, Java is latest. Because C language 1972, Java 1995. After 23 years, Java came. So what are the problems? What are the issues are there in C language? Those all rectified by Java developers. That's what these all. Constant and go to keywords presently not in use. You should not use these two. It doesn't work. One more. Keyword cannot be used as an identifier. Keyword cannot be used as an identifier. So the 50 words, whatever I give given, those all you should not write as an identifier. If you write, error comes. This 50 words list, once if the half of the core Java, if it is completed, if I ask 50 words also will write. Based on topic wise, you can easily recall your subject, you can write. It is possible. So These 50 words, no need to by heart. Concept-wise, Java fundamentals, object-oriented programming, string handling, wrapper class, like this concept-wise, some keywords comes. That list, if I ask, you will write. 50-50 you can write, possible. If you recall your subject after completion of 50% core Java. Then if I ask, you will write 50 words also. It is possible. Okay. See, for example, 5 identifier rules, if you remember, 1000 identifiers also, which are valid, which are not valid, you can give answer, no? Possible. Same style, every day you follow my logical code snippets, later any code snippet you can give answer. Okay. Just you follow my assignments also, later any Java program you can write. It is possible. Okay, it is possible. That type of assignments I'll give. That type of assignment, that type of questions I'll give. Thousands, n number of I can prepare, I can give. Once if you get a subject, you can prepare thousands. Possible. After completion of half of the core Java only, you will be able to write any logic. It is possible. You can create your own logics also. It is possible. Okay. Now, these 2 points also you have to remember. 2 keywords presently not in use. It is there in the list, but if you write, error comes. Keyword cannot be used as identifier. Class name, method name, constructor name, like that's variable name. You should not write these 50 words. If you write, error comes, because these all already having some meaning. You should not write for your words. Okay. Reserved words you should not use as an identifier. These all about keywords you have to remember. Say, writing program purpose, some words are reserved. Those words are called keywords. Some examples I given. Compulsory you have to write small letters. There are at present 50 keywords are there, including these 3. This is came in 1.2 version. This is came 1.4 version. This is came 1.5 version. And these 2 keywords presently not in use. If you write, error comes. Keyword you should not use as a identifier. Keyword you should not use as a identifier. If you write, error comes. These points remember. Don't forget. Okay. Logics, code snippets don't by heart. Programs don't by heart. Concepts you have to by heart, compulsory. But people are doing reverse. Program they are by hearting. First line to last line they'll by heart. That is wrong. Programs if you by heart, how many you can by heart? Suppose you have a very good memory power. Then how many you can by heart? Maximum 50 to 100. That's it. Maximum 50 to 100. But other than that, not possible. But you follow my way, any program you can write. Thousands. That's it. Way you learn, my way you learn. My way if you learn, any program you can write. My program if you learn, my program only you can write. Okay? Got your point? What you have to learn? Programs are way. Way. My way you learn. Okay? But you should have a patience. In a 1-2 days only not possible immediately program. You should have a patience. Okay? See, just today, tomorrow. Just tomorrow only, logical code snippet will start. Then after 3-4 days, after 1 week almost, after 1 week program will start. First logics required. Logics most important. Logically if you are strong, program possible. First 1 week. 1 week concentrate on only logic. Logic. So many logics I'll explain. Some hundreds of code snippets I'll explain. Okay. Now this week, this batch when it is started, Monday started, no? Already 4 classes completed. So today 1 class, day 5. Tomorrow 1 class, day 6. Within these 6 classes only, next week exam will be there. Definitely. That is only logics. This theory I won't ask, only logic. It is possible. Next week, when that exam will be Monday to Saturday, sudden test. That may be Monday or that may be Saturday. Or that may be in between. Okay. Online students also you have to write. Offline students also you have to write. On screen, 10 questions I'll give. You have to write answers. After 10 minutes, I'll give answer. That type. Okay. I'll explain. Now, next concept, literals. Noted? literals. A literal is a source code representation of a fixed value. A literal is a source code representation of a fixed value. A literal is a source code representation of a fixed value. Literal nothing but source code. I'll explain. With seeing that, you'll understand. In Java, literals are divided into six categories. First one, integer literals, nothing but numbers. So positive numbers, negative numbers, or zero are called integer literals. It's nothing but data. In a C language, we are calling constants. Java language, we are calling literals. Terminology also important. Integer literals, positive numbers, negative numbers, zero. These are called integer literals. These are called integer literals. Next, floating point literals. Decimal point is there. We can call floating point literal. Positive numbers, negative numbers, and zero are called integer literals. Floating point literals. Integer literals, floating point literals. Next, character literals. Character literals must be in single quotes. One character only. One character only in single quotes. Even digit also, one digit only you can write. And even symbol also you can write. One symbol, one letter, one single quotes. But two you cannot write. Two if you write error. One letter. That can be digit, that can be character, that can be alphabet, that can be special symbol. You can write. Space also you can write. But one character only. So, but compulsory single quotes also. Single quotes also required. Fourth one, string literals. One character. The character can be an alphabet. The character can be a digit. The character can be a special symbol. The character can be white space. Okay. Character literal. Character can be a alphabet. Character can be a digit. Character can be a special symbol. Character can be a space also. But single quotes compulsory. These all very basics, but don't neglect. Very basics also important. Okay. Like, because software company questions, different types will be there. Confusion questions will be there. Complicated questions will be there. For that, basics also important. Okay. See, first day only, I asked questions about JVM. Interpret JVM is platform independent or not. But there also wrong answers came, no? Like that. Code snippets, many answers comes. That's what you have to concentrate. Now, string literals, double quotes. One character also in double quotes. Many characters also in double quotes. Like this. One character in single quotes, that is character literal. More than one character in double quotes, that is string literal. Fundamentals also don't neglect. Okay. One character in single quotes, character literal. More than one character in double quotes, string literals. Fifth one, Boolean literals. True, false. That's it. These two words, true, false. This fifth one, true, false. Sixth one, object literal. Only one, that is null. Boolean literals, true, false. Object literal, null. See, positive numbers, negative numbers, and zero. Positive number, negative number, and zero are called integer literals. Decimal point, point something is there, floating point literals. One character in single quotes, character literals. One character or many characters in double quotes, string literals. True, false, Boolean literals. And null, object literal. Suppose while writing a program, employee number required, employee number, which category of literal required? Which literal? Integer literal. Suppose employee number 101, 102, 103, 104 like that is there. Then integer literal required. Suppose some companies, what they'll do, alphabet and numbers they'll mix. Suppose example Naresh IT, N91, N92, N93, N94 like that if they write, then which literal required? String literal required. Alpha numeric mixed. In that situation, string literal you have to select. So depends upon requirement. Some companies they'll use only digits. Employee number 101, 102, 103, 104 like that if you want to write, integer literal. If the company name also if it is prefixed, N91, N92, N93, N94, then string literal. Like that you have to select. Okay. Now, employee name, which category literal? Employee name. Employee name compulsory string literal only. Okay. Employee name, more than one letter will be there, more than one character will be there. Definitely will go for string literal. Employee salary, floating point literal. Floating point literal. Rupees dot paisa. So rupees and paisa both will be there. Then floating point literal will select. Okay. Employee number, employee name, salary. Like this. Okay. Suppose employee attendance, present, absent. What will do? Boolean literal also you can use. True, false. Suppose 0 means present, absent, 1 means present. Integer literal. Suppose P means present, A means absent. Character literal. Suppose present, absent, words only I want to write. Like that. Depends. Depends upon our requirement, we can select. So, present, absent. Just generally we can go for true, false. True, false means Boolean literal. Present, absent, words also if you want to use, string literal. PA, if you want to use, character literal. 0, 1, if you want to use, integer literal. Like that we'll select. Employee attendance percentage. Number of working days, how many present, how many absent, total percentage if you calculate. Floating point literal. Decimal points comes no. At that time we have to select floating point literal. Like this, first literals you have to select. Okay. Now, you remember terminology also important. In C language, we are calling constants. C language, integer constant, floating point constant, string constant, character constant, like that we are calling. But Java, we are calling literals. Terminology changed. Now, next note 1. True, false, and null are not keywords. These three not there in the keywords list. True, false, and null. These all reserved only, but not there in the keywords list. In the keywords list, these three not included. true, false, and null are not keywords. These three not present in the keywords list. Okay. Next, note 2. Note 2. True, false, and null are also cannot be used as an identifier. True, false, and null are also cannot be used as an identifier. True, false, and null are also cannot be used as an identifier. Say, true, false, and null, not keywords. It is not there in the keywords list. But these three also we should not write as an identifier. If you write, error comes. Okay. See, about these points also you have to remember. Now, identifiers completed, keywords completed, literals completed. Three categories, three concepts completed. Next, still data types are there, variables are there, operators are there. With these three concepts, more logical part possible. Okay. Now, next, data types. Note. Data types. Next heading, data types. A data type that determines what value variable can hold and what are the operations can be performed on variable. Data type means not only type of data. Data type only decides what value variable should contain. Data type only decides what are the operations can be performed on variable. Data type only decides what value variable can hold. Data type only decides what are the operations can be performed on variable. See, here 6 categories of literals are given. You have seen integer, float, character, string, boolean. But object literal when we have to use, that is further comes. Object literal when we have to use. It is object oriented programming related. That is further you will understand. Today not possible to understand. When we use null, you will understand further. If object is created, that address stored. Object is not created, null will be stored. In that situation we use. That is further you will understand. Okay. A data type that determines what value variable can hold and what are the operations can be performed on variable. Data type only decides what variable should contain. Data type only decides whether addition possible or not, subtraction possible or not, multiplication possible or not. That is decided by data type. So data type only decides addition possible or not, multiplication possible or not, these all. 45 operators are there, but all you cannot apply in all data types. See, for example, here, int a, I'll write. This a should contain integer literal because here I specified data type. So a should contain integer literal only. If I write float, a should contain floating point literal. If I write char, a should contain character literal. So whatever we are writing here, this will decide what that variable should contain. That is data type. So data type only decides what that variable should contain. Suppose I'll write only a, it is meaningless. So if you write one data type, meaning comes. It should contain integer literal. If I write float, it should contain floating point literal. If I write char, it should contain character literal. Like that, data type decides. Suppose int is there, 45 operations possible. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo division, less than, greater than, equal to, not equal, all possible if numbers are there. But if floating point number is there, some operations not possible. If strings are there, very few possible. Boolean is there, operations are not possible. Null is there, operation is not possible. So whether that operation possible or not possible, decided by data type. If integer literal is there, all operations possible. 45 plus operators are there, all we can apply if it is integer. If float is there, few operations not possible. Character is there, all possible, because integer to character communication code is there, ASCII code. You'll see further. American Standard Code for Information Interchange. That's what possible. And string is there, not possible. Very few possible. Like addition possible, and equals possible, not equals possible, less than, greater than is all possible. But multiplication, minus, subtraction is all not possible. Strings, like that. Some operations possible, some operations not possible. That is who will decide? Data type. That is data type. Okay. Data type only decides what A should contain. On that A, what are the operations possible? Who will decide? That data type only decides. Okay. That is data type. Next, write it. In Java, data types are divided into two categories. First one, primitive data types. Second one, reference data types. In Java, data types are divided into two categories. First one, primitive data types. Second one, reference data types. Here, this terminology also changed. In C language, C++ language, in other language, different terminologies will be there. Basic data types, derived data types, and primary data types, secondary data types, predefined data types, user-defined data types, like that we'll call. But Java people, they given new words. Primitive, reference. Online students, end of the session, I'll clarify your doubts. Listen the class and write the notes. End of the session, I'll clarify your doubts. Now, say in Java, data types are divided into two categories. In Java, data types are divided into two categories. First one, primitive data types. Second one, reference data types. Okay. End of the session, I'll clarify your doubts. Okay. It is not one-to-one session. Okay. See, online students, how many are there? 364 students are there. But offline students also, many students are there. No? So I'll clarify your doubts end of the session. Now, in Java, data types are divided into two categories. First one, primitive data types. Second one, reference data types. Write it. Primitive data types. Don't worry about notes. Running notes also write it. I'll share some PDF files in Google Classroom also. PDF files also I'll share. But running notes also write it. Running notes, many examples comes. That's what write running notes also. Primitive data types. Primitive data types are predefined data types. Primitive data types are predefined data types. There are 8 primitive data types and divided into 4 subcategories. Primitive data types are predefined data types. There are 8 primitive data types and divided into 4 subcategories. So in Java, data types divided into two categories. Primitive data types, reference data types. Primitive data types again divided into four subcategories. What are those? First one, integers. Second one, floating point numbers. Third one, characters. Fourth one, Boolean. These are subcategories. Primitive data types are predefined data types. There are 8 primitive data types and divided into 4 subcategories. First one, integers. Second one, floating point numbers. Third one, characters. Fourth one, Boolean. Okay. Now, primitive data types are primitive data types are predefined data types. There are 8 primitive data types and divided into 4 subcategories. Each category I'll explain. See, primitive data, just now you studied how many categories of literals are there? How many? 6. What is first one? Integer literals. Second one, floating point literals. Third one, character literals. Fourth one, string literals. Fifth one, Boolean literals. Sixth one, object literal. 6 categories of literals. Integer literals purpose, integers data types. Floating point literal purpose, floating point numbers category of data types. Character literals purpose, characters. String literals are there, no? That is not comes here. That it comes under reference data types. Okay? That it comes under reference data types. Next, Boolean literals are there, no? Here, Boolean category. One more category is there, no? Object literal. That it comes under reference. So, strings, object literal. String literals, object literals comes under reference data types. Because that is every string in Java object. String also object. That is the reason that it comes under reference related. So, primitive data types, reference data types, 2 categories. Now you are learning first category. Integers, floating point number, character, booleans. These all very basics, don't neglect. Okay. Right, next. Is it over? Writing is over. Now, first category, integers. First category, integers. Now, here 3 columns, write it. Data type, memory size, range. First category, integers. Data type, memory size, range. Here, byte, short, int, long. Eight bits, nothing but 1 byte. Here 16 bits, nothing but 2 bytes. Here 32 bits, nothing but 4 bytes. 64 bits, nothing but 8 bytes. Here range minus 2 to the power of 7 to 2 to the power of 7 minus 1. Here minus 2 to the power of 15 to 2 to the power of 15 minus 1. Range. Minus 2 to the power of 31 to 2 2 to the power of 31 minus 1. Here minus 2 to the power of 63. 2 to the power of 63 minus 1. Just write this one. Integers category, 4 data types are there: byte, short, int, long. 8 bits, 1 byte, 16 bits, 2 bytes, 32 bits, 4 bytes, 64 bits, 8 bytes. Minus 2 to the power of 7 to 2 to the power of minus 7 minus 1. Here minus 2 to the power of 15 to 2 to the power of 15 minus 1. Like that, 31, 63. Here these ranges also no need to remember. I'll explain. Range is not required, size is not required. Order, if you remember enough, I'll explain why. In C language, compulsory you have to remember, but Java not required. Reason I'll explain. In these 4 data types, it is a default. What is default? I'll explain. Here every point important only. Every point important, because you are learning Java to get a job. That is, remember always. Your target is different. Okay, according to target you have to learn. Suppose if you want to learn for passing BTech means these are not required. Theoretically strong enough. Every student perfect. No need to come to Ameerpet also. You can learn yourself. You can pass. Before exams, 1 month if you study, you'll pass. That is BTech. Okay. So academic exam is different. Software company exam is different. That is explained with identifiers only. I think you understood. Okay. So that's what. Here every point important only. Here what is default also important. Why that is default also important. Already explained how to learn Java. Okay. How to learn Java on class I have taken. No. That is most important. Now here default. Byte, short, int, long. These are data types. And these data types comes under this category. In this category, int default. I'll explain what exactly that. These are 4 data types are there. Okay. Now, these sizes no need to remember. These ranges no need to remember. Why? Suppose in Java, byte a equal to one number 130, I'll write. Okay. Actually here I given range minus 2 to the power of 7 to 2 to the power of 7 minus 1. Minus 128 to plus 127. Actual range. That is 2 power I given. That is 2 power I given. Suppose you return byte a equal to 130. You return. What will be happen in Java? Whenever you compile the program, that compiler knows that range. Java compiler knows. It will check within the range or out of range. Out of range. Then immediately it shows error. That's what no need to remember. But C language, error will not come. In C language, it will rotate. Like it will rotate like this. In C language, not in Java. C language. Now, plus 128, it will converts into minus 128. It will rotate. Plus 129 converts into minus 127. Plus 130 converts into minus 126. Like that, it will rotate in C language. But in Java language, error comes. Whenever you compile the program, immediately error comes. That is out of range like. Okay. That is the reason no need to remember. Your compiler will remember. Okay. No need to remember by you. Your Java compiler is intelligent as compared to C compiler. Okay. That's what no need to remember by you. And suppose yourself, you are converting forcibly. then your mistake. Then again, this type of wrong output comes. You are converting forcibly means that is your mistake. Conversions I'll show you. So actually 130 storing in integer byte not possible. You are converting into byte type forcibly. Then the wrong output comes. That is your mistake. You are converting forcibly. Okay, like that. That two ways I'll show you logic. Okay. Here, that is the reason. If you forget range also, nothing will happen. No need to worry about this. But this is also no need to worry. Reason, in C language, pointers are there. Integer pointer, if you increment, 2 bytes will increase. Floating point pointer, if you increment, 4 bytes will increase. But pointers are not there. The memory sizes, you cannot perform operation. You cannot perform single operation also on memory size in Java because no pointers. Without pointers, it is not possible to perform operations on memory. That's what. No need to remember sizes here. You're not going to perform single operation also in memory. Pointers are there possible, but pointers are removed by Java developers, security purpose. That is the reason you cannot perform operations. Okay. Now, this is about integers. Is it over? I'll explain. Not completed, only list I given. Okay. Next. Second category. Floating point numbers. Second category, floating point numbers. Data type, memory size, range. Data type, memory size, range. Here, two data types are there. Float, double. (32 bits). That means 4 bytes. 64 bits. That means 8 bytes. Here, minus 3.4 into 10 to the power of minus 382 plus 3.4 into 10 to the power of plus 38. Here, minus 1.7 into 10 to the power of minus 308 plus 1.7 into 10 to the power of plus 308. These also no need to remember. What you have to remember is data type names only you have to remember. Float and double. Here, double default. I'll explain what exactly default. Why it is called default, what exactly default. Float and double. Double is default. Float and double. Double is default. Floating point numbers. Two data types. Float, double. Here 4 bytes it will occupy. It is 8 bytes it will occupy. That range is like this. These ranges, these sizes, no need to remember. No need to remember. Okay. Next one, characters. Characters. Just char. 2 bytes. 16 bits. 2 bytes. Range is nothing but 0 to 65,535. I'll explain what is that. There is only one data type, that is only default. Fourth one, Boolean. Here we have only one data type, Boolean. Here one bit. Here true or false. Characters category, one data type, char. Boolean category, one data type, Boolean. Characters category, one data type, char. Booleans category, one data type, Boolean. See, data types, how many categories divided in Java? 2 categories. Primitive data types, reference data types. Okay. Primitive data types, total 8. How many subcategories divided? 4. What are those? Integers, floating point numbers, characters, Boolean. Primitive data types, 8 data types divided into 4 subcategories. Integers category, how many data types are there? 4. What are those? Byte, short, int, long. Which is default? Int. I'll explain what exactly default. Okay. Floating point numbers, how many data types? 2. What are those? Float and double. Which is default? Double default. Characters category, how many data types? 1. That is char. That is only default like. That's what default I didn't given. In a 4, int default. In a 2, double default. But there is only one data type. That's what default is not required. Boolean category, how many data types? 1 data type. That is Boolean. Now, just note, all primitive data types are keywords also. All primitive data types are keywords also. All primitive data types are keywords also. Now, all primitive data types are keywords also. You observe, suppose byte equal to one number, I'll write. It is out of range, no? Then integer b equal to like this a. We'll write here. This a, you can suppose like this values later. Suppose byte a. Integer b equal to a. Like this conversions possible. One data type to other type. Like that, how many conversions comes you observe? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, Boolean. Now, converting byte to short, converting byte to int, byte to long, byte to float, byte to double, byte to char, byte to Boolean. Then one data type converting into other 7. Total 8 data types into 7. Total how many? 56 type conversions comes. 56 type conversions. Out of 56, 14 conversions not possible. 19 conversions automatically done by system. 23 conversions must be done by programmer. But which are 14, which are 19, which are 23? These all software company written test exam they'll ask. Here, very basics, but people are not writing because these are not there in academics. Academics, you are not studying. You observe right or wrong, any college, any university, check it out. Then only believe. Very few, maybe 1% will be there. 56 type conversions, 14 conversions not possible. Which are not possible? 19 conversion automatically done by system. Which are done by system? 23 conversions must be done by programmer. Which are 23? How to identify? That question only they'll ask in interview. That question only they'll ask in written test. There is a one simple technique is there. That technique I'll explain. Out of 56, only 3 myself I'll teach. Remaining 53 you can give answer. It is possible. A small technique is there. That technique I'll teach. With the technique, only 3 I'll teach. Remaining 53 you can give answer. It is possible. Okay. But before going to that one, here, it is not completed. I have to explain some more concepts about data types. Here, just now you have seen character. What is the character range? 0 to 65,535. Okay. Here, 0 to 65,535. Here, if you write character, suppose if you write capital A, that number 65. If you write character capital B, that number 66. Like that, capital Z, that number 90. Okay. If you write small a, that number 97. If you write small b, that number 98. If you write small z, that number 122. So, capital letters ASCII code 65 to 90. Small letters ASCII code 97 to 122. Digits, if you write 0, that number also is there, 48. 1, 49. If you write 9, 57. So 48 to 57. These are ASCII code. But remaining here 0 to 47 and 58 to 64 gap is there. You observe. Starting 48. But 0 to 47 gap. 58 to 64 gap is there. 91 to 96 gap is there. Okay. 123 to 255. These are special symbols. But these all no one will ask in interview. No one can remember special symbols. But these all important. Capital letter code is 65. Small letter code is 97. 0 code is 48. But I given range is 0 to 65,535. But it is 0 to 255 only. But remaining range, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, French, Japanese, Chinese, all possible. It is only English. Worldwide, all languages possible in Java. You can bring the output in Telugu also, Hindi also. But writing program English only. Writing program Telugu not possible. Okay. In future also may or may not. Writing program English only. But you can bring the output in Telugu also, Hindi also. World, all language possible. Those numbers also we have. I'll show you. Just write this one. This is called ASCII code. See, in ATM center, English, Telugu, Hindi appears, no? Possible. We can bring the output Telugu also, Hindi also. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. These all numbers note down. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So capital letters 65 to 90, small letters 97 to 122, digits 48 to 57. Special symbols, no one will ask. No need to worry about that. These three, if you remember, enough. Remaining all you can give answers. Okay. Only capital A, small a, 0. These three remember. Remaining not required. These special symbols not required. This is whatever is available. Keyboard characters and ASCII characters, all 0 to 255 characters available. Okay. But characters range is 0 to 65,535. Telugu characters range will be there. Kannada characters range will be there. Tamil characters range will be there. And world all languages, French, Japanese, Chinese, all possible. Just you observe. Suppose you observe in a Google, you can type Telugu Unicode chart. You can type. Then almost first link only comes. This is first link only. You observe Telugu chart. Here. This is first letter, Telugu letter. This is a code. That is hexadecimal format. Hexadecimal format is there. Hexadecimal format. See, Telugu 0C05. That is Telugu character ASCII code. That code, Unicode. That is hexadecimal format is there. Number formats will be there, no? Decimal, octal, hexadecimal. That is. If you write that one, this output comes. In a program 0C05 you have to write, but output Telugu character comes. Like that, not only Telugu, Hindi also is there. Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, French, Japanese, Chinese, world all languages. But can you remember all codes? That's what. Suppose you want to display your name. Search in Google, write the code, you will get output your name. That's it. Okay. But who will remember all? No one can remember. Okay. Student cannot remember, faculty cannot remember. Not possible. Now, if you want to display your name, search for that code write in a program, you will get output Telugu characters. But at the command prompt, not possible. Java user interface required. And Java possible. In browser possible. Command prompt doesn't support. Okay. This is primitive data types. Just next write it, reference data types. Just arrays, strings, classes, interfaces, dash dash, etc. These are separate topics will be there. We'll study later. These all separate topics. Arrays, strings, classes, interfaces, dash dash, etc. Okay. We'll see continuation tomorrow. See, already told you class timings 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Monday to Saturday. So tomorrow you have a class. Okay. 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Monday to Saturday. See, how many concepts completed? Identifiers, keywords, literals, data types. 4. Tomorrow variables I'll explain. Then I'll start logics. That's what, don't miss. Every class important only. Tomorrow only I'll start logical code snippets. Every class important only. Don't neglect. Tomorrow we'll see continuation. Be regular.